effectiveness of prisms in the management of diplopia in patients with diverse etiology.
Oh.
Prisms are prescribed for patients who have symptomatic binocular diplopia as an optical correction. We aim to study the success of prisms in regard to diplopia resolution score and the associated factors. This is a retrospective descriptive cohort study done among patients who have prescribed prisms for diplopia for different etiologies over a broad range of ocular misalignment between 2017 to 19. These patients who were prescribed, the inclusion criteria included those who required prisms for fourth, third, sixth nerve, thyroid-related, restrictive strabismus, decompensated phoria, and so on, and followed up for 2 months. We excluded patients who refused prisms due to dissatisfaction. Things that were recorded were the demographic profile of the patient, the features of diplopia, the nature, onset, duration, systemic illness, and etiology, measurement of primary deviation both for primary near and distance and down gaze, prismotherapy details about the amount and the type of prisms and the compliance. The subjective score of 1 was given for complete resolution, 2 for partial resolution, and 3 for non-resolution. Success of prisms was defined as score of 1 and 2. Coming to the results, we had 54 patients in this study duration who had symptomatic diplopia. Of them, 31 had been taken into the study after meeting the inclusion criteria. The mean age was 37, 77% were male. Mean duration of diplopia was 11 months. Mean follow-up was 15 months. Of these patients with systemic illness, 71 had no systemic illness, 13 had thyroid. This table shows the etiology. 7 patients had decompensated phoria, 4 for thyroid-related, 4 for fourth nerve, 2 patients with third nerve, 6 received prisms for sixth nerve, and 8 had post-trauma. Of these patients, 2 had orbital diplopia following orbital trauma, post-RD surgery, post-orbitotomy, and post-traumatic cataract surgery who had developed sensory exotropia. Type of deviations, 39% had esotropia, 51 had exo, and 19% had hypertropia. Table on the right up shows the mean deviation for horizontal distance and near. 29% had received ground glass and 17 received prisms in the form of a Fresnel prism. The mean prism that was prescribed for the study group was 13.3, ranging from 4 to 25. So 16 patients had received horizontal, 8 received vertical, 4 received combined prisms, 3 received oblique. Coming to the success, in our patients, 52% had complete resolution of diplopia following the prism usage, and 36 had partial and 13 had no resolution. Score 1 and 2 accounted for 87% who had success of prisms and resolution of diplopia. Of these patients, 96.8% opted to continue the usage of prisms. Coming on to the correlated factors between the success of prisms and the type of prisms, it was found to be significant that horizontal prisms and the oblique prisms gave 100% and it was statistically significant. The other factors like success of prisms with association of type of prism that was with the history of trauma with the type of deviations did not show any statistical significance. Coming to the discussion, so our study had 87% of patients who reported to have satisfaction with prisms. Similarly, Tamankar et al., which is the other study which denotes success of prisms among patients with various etiologies of diplopia, who had studied 94 patients, reported 88% of complete resolution success of prisms. Similar study by Flader et al., 80% had experienced relief of diplopia with prisms. In our study, we had 100% success among the patients with etiology of decompensated phoria, fourth and sixth nerve palsy. Similar study was seen by Nina and Tamankar et al. Our study had 100% success with oblique prisms when prescribed. In Tamankar et al., 86% of patients had success with oblique prisms. It is quite challenging to prescribe prisms in the form of oblique when we incorporate the vertical and the horizontal component. Using the Renenke et al. Table helps us to calculate it in a better way. To conclude, prisms are effective in alleviating diplopia over a broad range of different etiologies for double vision. We recommend prisms have to be tried as an initial management for all patients with symptomatic diplopia. These are my references. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Shashikala, being on time. So I think, looking at the sample size, the statistics in terms of like presenting mean with plus minus standard deviation, it would be better to present as a median with, the range, because your sample size is very small. Okay, and it is very difficult to comment, like even looking at 86% what is being reported, when particularly those patients who had a strabismus due to the cranial nerve palsies. So the temporal, the improvement of the palsy itself would contribute to the improvement in the diplopia, rather than your prism correction, isn't it? So I think that that bias is always there. So I think that should be also reflected in one of the limitation of your work or the presentation. Yeah, Dr. Morekar, you want to add?
Yeah, you already saying everything that I want to say.
Oh, yeah, please. Yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing to add. You've already said what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Yes. So what was just, out of, the curiosity, what was the patient you selected? I guess, those who has completely recovered and then, you tried the prism.
Completely recovered palsy. Sir, who had symptomatic diplopia, who had measurable prisms and who were improving with the prisms, those were the patients who have selected. So after the study, what we have learned is, even though the patients aren't comfortable with the initial trial, but it is always better to give them a trial of prisms and then see, because you never know. That's the reason why we have most of the patients who are in the younger group compared to the other studies. So now we have gone ahead and tried encouraging patients, though in the initial trial phase in the orthoptic clinics, even if you feel it is a little uncomfortable for choosing a head position, there will be some head position where they can adopt a little bit and then try with the prisms. That's why now we have started encouraging for the older patients as well. So the acceptance has increased. If you see, the number of patients were 54, but only 31 we had given prisms. So the remaining patients, we should be in a process of encouraging them, give a trial at home, some environmental situation at home, and their head positioning definitely will make them a little bit more comfortable rather than coming them.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. The time is up.
Yeah. Thank you for your just